Hey everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, the numbers are in for June of 2022. Now, a few things I want to go through. We all know we've had a lot of change. We've had interest rates going up, a lot of changes happening in the market, sort of post-COVID, things are normalizing a little bit. So what I want to do is I want to talk about the numbers that are taking place month over month, but I also want to talk about the last 5 years. So you can see, compared to 2018, 2019, where do we stand right now? And I'm also going to show you the average price over the last 5 years. But some of these visuals will be great visuals for you to use when you're working with buyers and sellers, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So here are your numbers. This is obviously January through to the end of June. So you can see right here, sales, we started with about 2,000, went up to 3,300, 4,100, 3,400. Then we started to drop. This is where we started to see the market start to slide a little bit because of interest rates. So with 3,400 here, then 3,000, and we're at 2,842. Now, this is your active listings. But remember, months of inventory, if you take the listings and you divide the sales into the listings, it gives us months of inventory. But here's what I can say about Calgary. Calgary right now, in terms of months of inventory, is the strongest market in Canada that I looked at. So you're doing very, very well, which means your prices obviously are going to be up a little bit. You can see sitting here, you got 4 to 6 months of inventory is balanced, okay? Above 6 is going to be buyers, below that's going to be a seller. So you're sitting here, it's going up a little wee bit, right? 1.4, 1.7, 1.9, but this is still a very, very strong market. And of course, you can see as your months of inventory start to rise, your days on market start to rise. So we went from 22 to 25 up to 27. So overall, the numbers are looking very good. But I thought you'd be interested. This is the last 12 months that have taken place. You can see we're July 2021 right here, takes us through to the end of June. So you remember last year was a very, very good year. However, this year started very strong. So we go back to July of last year, 2,300 sales, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100, 2,100. Then we got to the end of the year, 1,700. Well, look what happened here. All of a sudden, 2,000 in January, 3,300 in February, 4,100 in March. So the very first of the year took off. And then what happened? It started to slide just a little bit. But in all fairness, we're sitting down here at 2,842, substantially lower from the last few months. But look at this compared to all of last year. If we just run a line across, we're still substantially higher than we were all of last year. This gives you an idea on the average sale price. So you can see if we go back a year, we were 488,000 roughly. It stayed relatively the same. And then again, what happened? Beginning of this year, price was 477, 510, 547, 538, and of course it's dipping a little wee bit, but again, it's still substantially higher than it was all of last year. So this market, your Calgary market right now, is very strong. This year is something that you could use with buyers and with sellers to help them understand what's going on in the market for the last 5 years. So if we look at this, we've got 2018 right through to 2022. Here's your 2022 numbers. I showed you that already. So you can see very, very high. Let's go back to 2021. You can see we're substantially above 2021. And then we just almost matched 2021 right here in June of 2022. However, let's go back and look at 18, 19, and 20. So even though people go, well, sales are down. Yes, they're down. But what are they? They're substantially ahead what we had in 18, 19, and 20. Now, here's what happened. If you really think about it, really for the last couple of years, the last year and a half, the market has been very, very good. Most of you have been running full out. It's like you're driving at 120 kilometers or 140 kilometers an hour. And then all of a sudden, things start to slow down. So imagine you're doing 140 kilometers an hour, and then all of a sudden you hit traffic. And all of a sudden you do 80 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit. What's it feel like? Feels like you're going really, really slow, right? Because you're going at 140. So what's happening now is it's like all of a sudden we're starting to slow down a little bit. But what we have to realize, it's been really crazy for the last couple of years. But if you look at it, we're still substantially ahead of what was going on back in 18, 19, and 20. So this is interesting. This is your 5-year, year-to-date from June through to the end of, or I should say from January through to the end of June. So if you look at the 6 months, this is what happened, okay, in the first 6 months of the last 5 years. Another great visual for clients. So if we look at this, 8,500 sales in 2018, 8,300 sales in 2019. Well, we know what happened in 2020. March of 2020, COVID. So March, April, May were very, very soft. We dropped to 66.37. Well, look what happened after that. All of a sudden, we hit 2022, went to 15,000 sales, and look, or I should say 2021, and then 2022 went to 18,000 sales. So what's going on is the market is starting to normalize a little bit because of interest rates. However, Calgary right now, because of oil and many other economic factors, is doing very, very well. One of the strongest markets in Canada, if not the strongest market in Canada right now. So, is it going to continue to slow just a little bit? Probably, because we're probably going to see more rate hikes this year. But what you have to realize is even if it slows a little bit, it's still way better than it was in 2018, 2019, and 2020. Now, as the market's changing, something I am going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a lot of training videos and how to work in a normalizing market. So if you're interested in getting more of these videos, or at least being notified when I create something, go to richardrobbins.com and subscribe to our newsletter. Anyway, remember everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.